The story continues after the events that have passed, and we'll see if time is strong. I mean, thousands of years ago, there was a war between the Asgardians. What we have left is your Uncle Bor. Your Uncle Bor is your Uncle Odin. The important thing is, a war between Bor and Odin and between the elves. I seek refuge in God from them. We finished with Lucifer the devil. We entered the elves. I need God's forgiveness. The important thing is they fight the elves under the leadership of Malekith, and Malekith's goal was to spread darkness throughout the universe through a cosmic weapon. Its name is Aether, and it has a phenomenon that occurs every few hundred years, which is that the 9 realms align on top of each other. I seek Allah's forgiveness. Don't you see, Malekith can bring peace to all. But Asgard manages to win, and Bor hides the Aether in a secret place, and we return to the present time, which is after the events of the Avengers, and we see Loki after he was defeated and taken to Asgard, and he is judged by his father Odin and sentenced to prison. Good morning. The Bifrost Bridge, the gateway between Asgard and the rest of the universe, was destroyed during this period. Many troubles and problems happened. With Thor away and unable to control the Bifrost Bridge, he would embark on a journey to assess and repair the world once the bridge was fixed. And he descends to Earth, and we see your Aunt Jane. Oh, Jane is glowing. The Mjolnir hammer is still with Jane. Natasha is left anyway. We see your Aunt Jane, and she is trying to move on, and Thor is still there, and she is trying to get involved. In the true sense of the word, Jane has a crush on Thor Ojadan. She doesn't recognize the number. Ojadan 012 is in her first meeting with him. She finds him boring, of course. He is not exciting, and he has a hammer that brings her from another world, and these things are naturally boring. During what they were leading, Darcy, Jane's friend, took a lot from me. Hunter is ahead. Darcy will remain a solid thing ahead. Listen to me. This nerd will remain a solid thing ahead. Oh, Darcy, who saw Darcy in WandaVision. Oh, how the days change it. Or oh, how the monkey when the days adorn it. They're near us. She'll approach her and say her device has detected odd signals nearby. We'll see Dr. Eric Abajan and whoever he is. Despite his eccentric behavior, he creates remarkable inventions inspired by what he saw in the Avengers movie. I'll tell you how often I watch the rest of you. You didn't watch. Oh boy, I'm bored and you'll go crazy. And my school. Signs were found in a place where a novice scientist was trained to assist. The location will have children and their unusual toys, like a series that expands when lifted in Arabic, and an area where thrown objects return. But as God wills, the scientist threw the keys, but it didn't return to him. Its device detected larger signals, so he followed it. He found himself in a very strange place. Despite the echo and the horror, he remained listening to it. And in a red thing like this oven, I don't have a clue. As he approached the red stone, it melted and entered his body, much to his surprise. King, the Genie King, was seen floating above his throne, sleeping along with his entire army. She asks for a sword, and when it is brought, she tells him he is the cure for the genie. She speaks to the sword, and it descends to the genie. When she sees him, she gives him a pen to count 2 years since their last meeting. He tells her he didn't go because his frost was still white. When the second world is fixed, she asks what he wants, emphasizing that he shouldn't let her down. The concern with the idea is not being asked for. Father says, I am the one who brought me here, O Jadan, and then he will be in the police. Suddenly, a strange force emerges from Jin. Father takes it and looks at Asgard with it for the need to see this girl. What does she have in her? And he tells them about the story of the Jin and the Aether and all that happened. In his cell, Loki's angry mother confronts him, stating his actions led to his imprisonment, calling him a son of a dog. No, what did you say, you son of a dog? Son of a dog, this is from me, I am sorry. Hajj quality, and Thor will be a leader with Tintin. Yes, with Gin we have. I swear to God. He wants to learn Arabic from scratch. He writes, and the montage returns and sees him, and in the end he comes out to me with a script full of mistakes. God bless your homes, Sheikh. Do you want to learn it again from the beginning as a beginner? I swear. Thor becomes a leader with Jean and talks to him. Suddenly, Malekith's army from Asgard attacks Thor. He tries to stop them with Heimdall, and one ship falls, scaring the whole army. I say my opinion is free, and we will see if Malekith went to take the Aether from inside Jean. But Frigga with Mjolnir protects herself, so Malekith kills her, so the effect of the shock pushes him and Thor comes and attacks him, and Malekith runs away from him and his guards, and they target them with the ship, but they escape, and Frigga's body is finally sent to space. So what do you think of this? When Loki hears the news of his mother's passing, he is deeply saddened but hides his emotions. God calms them down, and Thor approaches Loki, who reveals his true form in his grief, causing concern for his well-being. Thor tells Loki he wants him to join in avenging their mother's death by Malekith. Thor swears this to his friends over coffee. They travel through a path made for their grandfather Bor to reach the world of elves, where they arrive. Loki pulls out a knife and stares as people urge him to approach the girl. Thor pulls out a knife and strikes it against Loki's in front of the king. As Thor turns his hammer, it severs Loki's hand. "You are the son of a blind god. Your mother has been destroyed. May God have mercy on her." And he tells the king that he will surrender the Aether. Loki offers to surrender the Aether to Malekith in exchange for destroying Asgard, claiming to be Malekith's grandson. As Malekith extracts the Aether from Jane, Thor signals Loki, who summons Mjolnir and strikes the Aether, revealing their plan to remove it from Jane's body. And this plays with Loki saying, "Sorry, you are not a blind son, you are a brave son." Critically, when Thor strikes the Aether with his power, it does not get destroyed, but instead empowers Malekith. A battle then erupts between Thor's allies and Malekith's guards. And with Loki's death, alas, he goes to Thor and Loki tells him, "I'm sorry for everything I've done," as he sacrifices himself, and Thor screams at Loki's death in a moving scene. Sika will show him because he is a bear, and while they were walking and they were themselves, suddenly there was a disruption in the place. They found themselves once on the ground, and they will go to your aunt. Darcy and Eric will see the guard. He goes to inform Odin that they found Loki's body, and Odin is very sad because this is his son. He is adopted, but he is his son. And we return to Earth, and we see an attack from Malek's army on Earth, and there is a very big battle between him and Thor. Parts of the city are destroyed in it. And there will be a phenomenon of the convergence of the worlds above each other, and Malek tries to spread the Aether, and the battle ends with the defeat of Malek, and Asgard's soldiers took the Aether and gave it to a person named the Collector in order to collect the gems from the Infinity Stones and give it to him so that there are no two Infinity Stones in Asgard and the Aether, and we will see the Collector. Thor speaks to Odin, who says Thor is not ready to be king and that he wants to protect people. Thor leaves, and Odin's shape changes to Loki, revealing that Loki is alive. The whereabouts of Odin remain unknown. All of this we will know in the next episode on the Bedtime Story channel, but that's it. The afternoon story is over. There are still stories to watch and more are coming. Do you understand? And don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, and follow me on Instagram. Don't forget to follow Ahmed Assam because he wrote this script, and don't forget to follow Kareem Osama because he edited this video. That's it. Of course, there's no outro every time, right? Of course, there's no outro. Because there are amazing people who bring us copyright, even though they themselves are from the people who got us into this channel. Walla, if I knew you, your mother's wonder, and the boss. But like this, peace be upon you.